We do a ton of concept images for all of these Ratchet games. We literally have more worlds and ideas than could ever get into these games. And I remember one of the earliest pieces of concept art we had in this game was the Wigwam. It was just a gorgeous piece of concept art, and it was something that when you showed this to anybody, they looked at that and they said, oh my gosh, we want to have that in the game. Like, I remember showing it to our folks back in Burbank. Everybody that saw it was like, oh, this thing is so amazing.
I worked up this painting, and it was one of those images that hopefully started to point in a given direction. And I think that's what the team started to gravitate a little bit towards, is that we can have 4 players, we can have these really large epic moments, and we can hopefully make these things work on screen. So we built the large worm, and we built some of the environment, we did some diorama work, and we really started to flesh out what this space is really about and how do we stage this really big moment.
I built the model, and we had to tackle a new poly count, a new game scale. In the Ratchet games in the past, we haven't really tackled an enemy that big before. Everyone kind of got together and worked on it and had a clear idea of what a big, scary enemy was going to look like in our game.
It's a weird character, you know, it's got like 14 legs and 10 eyes, and she's really long, but she's really big. Because of that, like, you know, we really had to work together closely to get the geometry to sort of do what it needed to do.
Essentially became the first new creature that we rigged, like modeled, rigged, and animated in this game. At the time, it was just for this diorama. But we put through all the paces. It was a test run for our whole pipeline for how we were going to handle new creatures and new characters and stuff.
You know, we knew from the very early going that we wanted this to be a single-screen co-op experience, because we think that's the best way to give players a shared experience. To address that on the art side, we took a look at the characters. The first thing we did was drop our 4 main characters together on screen.
In the previous Ratchet games, a lot of times you would see a character within a cinematic. And these cinematics were set up in a very particular way, just like movies, where an actor, if the actor's taller or shorter, they can compensate for that with, you know, with these cameras. When you're playing all on screen at the same time and you're shooting from one camera angle, you realize that sometimes some tweaks need to be made. So Cork got a little bit bigger, Clank got actually a little bit bigger as well, and then Ratchet just got a little bit more exaggerated with some of his proportions, just to make sure that he could read against this kind of broad canvas of not only other characters, but these environments as well.
And Nefarious stayed virtually the same. We got him a little narrower, his head got a little bit bigger, and that was just to sort of push the emphasis that he was a little bit scarier and he had a little bit more of a, you know, a bigger cranium.
Hold me like you used to before you became a flesh-eating zombie.
Quark, would ya?
You twit! You dare lay your squishy hands on me?
There's definitely a lot of nooks and crannies that I love about this game. There is just this high attention paid to the small things, and for me, growing up on the East Coast, within the Northeast, I have these vivid memories of being on the beach as a kid with my grandparents and going to Newport and stuff like that, where there's docks and ships and everything else. And here we had a level called Octonaut K, which was really the first time we've ever done a seaside town within the Ratchet universe. Overall, we tend to go towards metal and robots and steel. This level has more wood in it than I think any other Ratchet level. It was a real new visual approach for us, and I think as a result we were able to approach it with a really unique take, because I haven't seen any other games do it the way that we have in this game. So, you're fighting jellyfish and you're seeing buoys and ropes and fighting big sea monsters. It's kind of like this ode to that old sea life that's been a lot of fun, to watch come to life.
I'm actually starting to like it here. Sure, it's a dangerous planet riddled with murderous robots and exotic predators, but take away all that, and what do you have? A presidential retreat / water park.
Can I kill him now?
No.
I can make it look like an accident.
How?
Ratchet.
All right, no.
PlayStation